The RAV4 myth ends here. You've heard this story for years, that the Toyota RAV4 is the ultimate SUV, the most reliable, the toughest, the one that never lets you down. But that story is starting to crack, because while Toyota kept polishing its crown, other brands kept working. In quiet factories across Japan, America, and Korea, engineers were refining something sharper, something stronger. They weren't trying to imitate the RAV4, they were building its replacements. And now, after decades of dominance, the once untouchable RAV4 finally has challengers that don't flinch. 4 SUVs that no longer stand in its shadow. 4 machines that combine technology, comfort, and sheer mechanical honesty in ways Toyota stopped doing years ago. So buckle up. No fluff, no brand worship. Just the truth about the SUVs that have finally surpassed the RAV4. Number 4. And we're starting strong. The SUV that redefines what everyday adventure really feels like. Rugged looks, hybrid heart, and a calm sense of control. Meet the Honda CR-V TrailSport, the new standard of dependability. When Honda announced the CR-V TrailSport, most people expected another mild refresh. Maybe some new bumpers, new badges, and a marketing speech about adventure. What they got instead was something else entirely. The TrailSport isn't a gimmick. It's Honda's statement that they remember how to build a real SUV. From the first glance, it feels mature and muscular. The fenders are wider, the stance is taller, and the matte finish skid plates aren't decoration. They're aluminum, built to take hits. Those blacked-out 18-inch wheels and all-terrain tires aren't for show either. They're ready for gravel, snow, and the kind of roads most RAV4s only see on postcards. Open the door, and you instantly feel the shift in personality. This isn't plastic pretending to be leather. The seats have thick bolsters, orange contrast stitching, and firm padding designed for long-distance support, not showroom comfort. You sit high, commanding the road with visibility Toyota's designers once prided themselves on, but somehow lost chasing sleeker lines. Under the hood lives Honda's most balanced powertrain yet, a 2.0-liter Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder, paired with 2 electric motors that together deliver 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. On paper, that doesn't sound outrageous, but behind the wheel, it feels effortless. Instant torque at city speeds, quiet composure on the highway, and a hybrid system that switches between gas and electric like it's reading your mind. And here's where it really humiliates the RAV4 Hybrid: refinement. Honda's system doesn't whine, doesn't surge, doesn't feel like 2 cars arguing under the hood. It's one smooth stream of power. TrailSport trim means real hardware too. You get standard all-wheel drive, increased ground clearance, reinforced suspension mounts, and a dedicated off-road traction mode that actually works. The RAV4 Adventure talks about off-road spirit. The CR-V TrailSport simply goes and proves it. But power and traction are only half the story. The other half is peace of mind. Honda's reliability reputation was never built on marketing slogans. It was earned in silence, through decades of cars that just refused to die. The TrailSport continues that bloodline with meticulous engineering. Every bolt, every mount, every weld feels like it was placed by someone who actually drives. Inside, technology finally meets simplicity. A crisp 9-inch touchscreen sits atop a clean dash with physical knobs, the kind people miss when they step into buttonless digital chaos. Wireless CarPlay and Android Auto come standard, as do the full Honda Sensing Safety System, Lane Keep Assist, Collision Mitigation Braking, Adaptive Cruise, Traffic Jam Assist, all tuned so precisely that they support, not control, the driver. And the driving experience, it's not flash, it's confident. The wheel turns, and there's weight. Not fake sportiness, but substance. You feel the chassis working with you, not fighting you. The suspension absorbs harsh roads with quiet strength. Potholes vanish beneath the tires, like the car is too composed to notice them. With an estimated range over 430 miles on a full tank, the TrailSport isn't just efficient, it's liberating. No anxiety, no plug-in planning, just miles of open road. Price starts around $39,000, yet it feels like it belongs in a higher bracket, because what you're paying for here isn't luxury trim or brand prestige. It's balance, a rare equilibrium of durability, comfort, and capability that even Toyota once built its name on. The RAV4 Hybrid may have the numbers, but the CR-V TrailSport has the soul, and that's why it stands as the first SUV on this list that genuinely dethrones the Toyota RAV4 RAV4. Number 3. And this one carries a legacy few can match. Freshly refined, brutally honest, and built with the kind of precision only Japan can deliver. This is the Subaru Forester, the quiet beast. If the CR-V TrailSport is the engineer's answer to Toyota, then the Subaru Forester is nature's. While other SUVs flex on city streets, the Forester quietly heads where the pavement ends. No drama, no bragging, just capability that's been tested for decades in snow, mud, and mountain. Its design refuses to chase trends. There's no fake aggression, no slanted roofline that steals headroom. Instead, you get a square stance, tall windows, and the kind of visibility pilots envy. It looks honest because it is. The new generation brings subtle refinement, slimmer LED headlights, a tidier grille, and tougher cladding around the wheel arches. It's the kind of SUV that still looks fresh 10 years later because it was never trying to look futuristic in the first place. Underneath, the story gets serious. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive is not optional. It's standard across every Forester. That means constant torque to all four wheels, perfectly balanced weight distribution, and a center of gravity lower than most sedans thanks to its boxer engine layout. That's why on slick roads or steep trails, the Forester feels glued to the earth while others slide in panic. Its 2.5-liter boxer four-cylinder produces about 180 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. No turbo hype, no artificial overboost, just clean, predictable power. Pair that with a continuously variable transmission tuned for smoothness rather than fake shifts, and you get progress that's steady, unshakable, and incredibly durable. And if you want more muscle, Subaru's new mild hybrid system adds a compact electric motor, boosting combined output to 194 horsepower while shaving precious fuel. But numbers don't explain why people fall in love with this SUV. It's the feeling. The moment you sit inside and realize everything is built for you, not to impress you. The doors close with a solid thunk. The dashboard is clean. The controls intuitive. The materials honest. No piano black plastic that scratches in a week. No chrome pretending to be metal. Just textured surfaces that feel ready for real life. Snow boots, dog claws, camping gear, all welcome. The driving position is perfection. Tall, commanding, but never awkward. Visibility stretches in every direction, making tight parking lots and mountain roads equally stress-free. After a long drive, you realize how refreshing it is to sit in a car designed by people who actually drive. Then comes the Wilderness Edition, the badge that transforms the Forester from rugged commuter to mountain goat. Raised suspension, metal skid plates, 17-inch all-terrain tires, and a matte black hood decal that cuts glare in bright sunlight. It's not a costume. It's functional gear. Off-road, its X-Mode traction control system calibrates throttle response and differential behavior for snow, mud, or dirt. Descend a steep trail, and hill descent control handles the braking while you steer. Simple, calm, effective. That's Subaru. Safety? It remains one of the most crash-worthy compact SUVs ever tested. The frame is reinforced with high-tensile steel, the structure channels impact away from passenger, and Subaru's EyeSight driver assist tech keeps a constant watch with dual stereo camera, a setup that sees depth like human eyes. Fuel economy sits comfortably in the mid-20s city and low-30s highway range, admirable for a full-time AWD vehicle. But again, Forester ownership was never about squeezing every drop. It's about trust. Knowing that when the storm hits or the road disappears, you'll still make it home. Starting around $33,000 and topping near $43,000, it's one of the most honest deals in the segment. Because here, you're not paying for image, you're paying for integrity. The Subaru Forester doesn't care about the spotlight. It's the SUV that quietly endures decade after decade while others chase headline. And that, more than any statistic, is what makes it better than the RAV4. Number 2. Moving forward. And now, the Rebel, the SUV that tore up the rulebook and wrote its own future. Bold, loud, and confident. The Kia Sportage Hybrid. The Rebel with a reason for years. Kia was the underdog, the brand people whispered about with hesitation. The one you bought when you couldn't afford a Toyota. But not anymore. The latest Kia Sportage Hybrid doesn't just erase that stigma, it burns it. The first time you see it in person, you realize this SUV doesn't care about blending in. The design is striking, futuristic, and unapologetically bold. That boomerang-shaped LED running light slashes across the front fascia like a scar from battle. The wide tiger nose grille stretches aggressively between them, framed by muscular haunches and aerodynamic creases that catch the light like sculpture. pressure. It's not trying to look like a RAV4. It's trying to look like the future. But beneath that design lies real substance. Pop the hood and you'll find a 1.6-liter turbocharged hybrid engine working with an electric motor to deliver 227 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. That's more power than the RAV4 hybrid, and yet it sips fuel like a saint. Nearly 43 miles per gallon combined in front-wheel drive form, and just a whisper less with AWD. Unlike Toyota's CVT system, Kia gives you a 6-speed automatic transmission, and that changes everything. Each shift is clean, mechanical, and predictable. You feel gears engaging, not rubber bands stretching. It's smoother, quieter, and more connected to the road. Inside, the transformation continues. You step into a cabin that looks more spaceship than SUV, a panoramic curved screen flowing from the driver's display into the infotainment center, beautifully integrated under one seamless glass panel. Every pixel glows with clarity. Every interface feels modern and alive. Then you notice the attention to detail, the dual-function touch bar that toggles between climate control and media, the ambient lighting that changes tone with drive modes, the seats wrapped in soft vegan leather with contrast piping. It feels like Kia didn't just study the competition, they studied emotion. But this SUV isn't only about design and tech, it's about confidence. The steering is direct and precise. The suspension, tuned for comfort, somehow maintains composure in corners. It doesn't wallow, doesn't feel nervous, it feels deliberate. It's the kind of balance most compact SUVs dream of but rarely achieve. Safety is another area where Kia no longer plays catch-up. With forward collision avoidance, lane centering assist, blind spot monitoring, rear cross-traffic alert, and adaptive cruise control that actually feels natural, the Sportage Hybrid drives like it's aware of everything around you. But the real surprise? The silence. At city speeds, it glides almost noiselessly. At highway pace, the cabin remains hushed, the result of Kia's triple-sealed doors, layered sound insulation, and laminated glass. It's luxury-grade quietness in a mainstream SUV, starting at around $29,000 and climbing to roughly $38,000 fully loaded. The Sportage Hybrid delivers technology, performance, and refinement that would cost thousands more elsewhere. And here's the truth. Toyota once built cars that shocked the world with value and reliability. Today, Kia is the one doing it. The Sportage Hybrid isn't a follower. It's a statement, proof that the next great Japanese challenger might not even be Japanese at all. And finally, number 1. The driver's choice, the purest SUV. No drama, no noise, just precision, power, and passion. The Mazda CX-5, signature AWD, the soul of a driver's SUV. If the CR-V TrailSport is about balance and the Forester about trust, the Mazda CX-5 is about feel, pure unfiltered connection between driver and machine. Because while most SUVs chase statistics, the CX-5 chases something deeper, emotion. Mazda's engineers believe that a car should move like an extension of your body. They call it Jinba Itai, a philosophy born from the harmony between horse and rider. And the moment you grip the CX-5's steering wheel, you feel exactly what that means. The design is understated yet elegant. No gimmicks, no aggressive angles. Instead, a clean, flowing surface that reflects light like liquid metal. The CX-5 looks expensive not because it's flashy, but because it's confident. Step inside, and you're greeted by one of the most beautifully crafted interiors in the segment. Genuine Napa leather, real wood trim, and aluminum accents line a cabin that feels handcrafted. Every switch clicks with purpose. Every surface feels solid. This is the kind of build quality people used to expect only from European cars. Under the hood, the 2.5-liter turbocharged engine delivers 256 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque when fueled with premium gas. That's a thunderous advantage over the RAV4's modest numbers. It launches with authority, not aggressive, but confident, like a calm athlete who knows their power. And when the road twists, the CX-5 shows its secret weapon, G-Vectoring Control Plus. It subtly shifts engine torque to keep weight balanced on all 4 tires through corners. You don't feel electronics fighting you. You just feel planted, graceful, precise. Mazda's iActive AWD constantly monitors road conditions 200 times per second, sending power exactly where it's needed. In rain, snow, or gravel, it reacts before you even notice the loss of grip. But where this SUV truly stands apart is the way it feels. The steering, beautifully weighted, communicative. The throttle, sharp but never jumpy. The brakes, progressive and firm. Every movement, every input feels human. It's as if the entire vehicle was designed to breathe with you. And yet, it's still practical. The cabin is whisper quiet, even at 70 miles per hour. The seats hug you in all the right places, perfectly shaped for long-distance comfort. Cargo space is generous, the ride tuned to perfection, firm enough for control, soft enough for peace. Fuel economy lands around 25 city/31 highway miles per gallon, respectable for a performance-oriented SUV. But no one buys a CX-5 to chase miles per gallon. They buy it for satisfaction. Starting at $30,000 and topping out around $39,000 for the fully loaded signature AWD, it undercuts German rivals while feeling every bit as refined. And unlike Toyota, Mazda hasn't traded driving joy for mass appeal. They've kept their soul intact. The CX-5 doesn't just beat the RAV4, it embarrasses it where it matters most, behind the wheel. The truth the market can't hide: Toyota's RAV4 built its empire on reputation. It was the safe choice, the one you bought when you didn't want to think. But the world has changed. Consumers are smarter, technology is faster, and competitors have caught up, even surpassed the master. Honda rebuilt its reliability and refined its hybrid magic. Subaru doubled down on integrity and traction. Kia reinvented itself into a powerhouse of design and innovation. Mazda held onto its soul when everyone else sold theirs. The RAV4 still sells millions, but the loyalty is no longer blind. People are noticing the truth, because now, when you line these SUVs side by side, when you listen to the silence of the CR-V TrailSport, feel the honesty of the Forester, witness the intelligence of the Sportage Hybrid, and drive the precision of the CX-5, you realize something. Toyota's not the king anymore. It's just another player. And the real question isn't which SUV beats the RAV4. It's which one will you choose to replace it?